Join us in Germany for this episode where we check out the Renault Megane E-Tech Electric. Hello from Germany, G here, and I've got here a Renault Megane E-Tech EV, of course, and I've got this car for the next 3 weeks here in Germany. We're going to do a lot of road trips on it. It's the first time I've ever driven one. I've got a little bit of a cold, so if my voice sounds a bit funny today, I think I picked up the lurgy on my flight over here. But anyway, I'm going to give you my first impressions of this car today, and of course we'll do some tests with it, economy, and I'll do some long trips on it as well. This car at the moment is not available in Australia, or I should say it's only just becoming available in Australia. There's only one model coming to Australia, which is the base model, and that's what I've got here. So I'll give you my first impressions of it. Let's go and have a look at it. Okay, so we'll start with the exterior of the car, and I think it's quite a smart looking car. It's a medium-sized SUV, so quite similar in size to my little Atto 3 that I've got. It's a little bit lower, I think. I don't have the measurements on hand, but I think they're 20 inches, which is a little bit bigger than the Attos, but we've got some nice wheels there. And I like the styling at the front. I like the lights. All the new EVs seem to have really fantastic light bars on them, and this car's no exception. So yeah, very nice looking car. The charging port is pretty much in the same location as the Atto 3, and I guess that's going to come to Australia as well when it becomes a right-hand drive. Obviously this is a left-hand drive in Germany. Now it's got retractable handles, so I'll just lock the car so you can see what they look like. So they just go in like that. So I quite like that. I think they're very good, the handles here. You can see they open nicely, come out a little bit more than on a Tesla. And again at the back you've got a beautiful light bar. Not much to really say that it's an EV, just a little tiny badge here saying E-Tech Electric. And the absence of tailpipes is the only thing that will really show that it's an EV. And the shark fin antenna looks nice at the top. There's no sunroof on it. Okay, let's have a look inside. Now I'll start with the back. You've got handles up here, like on a Honda HR-V. Now we will be travelling around with my wife and I and my wife's sister. So my wife's sister Sabina, she sat in the back yesterday and she said it was very, very comfortable in the back here. You can see the leg room is pretty good for a small SUV. Just these cloth seats, no leather, but they've been nicely done. And apparently the car uses a lot of recycled materials, which is also becoming a bit in vogue with EVs now, with things like vegan leather and just recycled materials. I think Volvo does a lot of that as well, and Polestar. Right, let's have a look in the driver's seat here. So there's the usual door switches. Now you've got a central screen which is portrait, and you can put maps on there if you want, or you can just have other features on it. They've done a great job with the interface again. The last few electric vehicles I've driven have had a really, really great screen on them. So they're really, really nailing the responsiveness of the screen. So they're really getting the hardware and the software right. And joy oh joy, we've got some actual buttons for the climate control, which is really, really welcome. So really easy to change the temperature and so on. Now you can change the screen here. I'll just start it up. Now everything's in German. I haven't bothered to change it. I do speak a little bit of German. I can get by. But anyway, if you see them in German, it's just because that's the way the car's been set up. We picked it up a couple of days ago near Aachen, which is near the border of Holland and Belgium. Anyway, you can see it's quite busy. They've got a lot going on here. I'm not sure I really look at that part of the car. We've got 3 stalks on the right hand side. Now, being a French car, the indicator stalk is on the left hand side, and I've driven French cars in Australia and they often carry over that. So if you do end up buying one of these in Australia, most likely the indicator stalk will be on the left side. Now here you can change the modes on it. You can see they've got quite a few modes there. Personal one, I think you can set up how you like. Comfort is sort of like normal mode. Eco mode, I drove it in eco mode when I first got it. I wouldn't recommend doing that. It's a little bit sluggish. And I've been driving it around in sport mode, which is, I'd say, fairly on a par with the Atto 3. I'll bring up some engine stats on the screen so you can see how big it is. So very similar to the Atto 3, so slightly more powerful motor. I'd say the 0 to 100 time is very similar, maybe a little bit slower in this, but it doesn't feel like it when you drive it. Certainly got a bit of a kick. Now you can also change this screen here, so you can have the maps here in the middle like you can on a Polestar, and I really love that you can do that. It's no issue having it here though on the right hand side. So I've sort of been driving it in this mode here. I'll show you the screen. This one here I've been driving it in. You've got a sort of like a semi-analog speedometer and a little bit of the charge and power ratio as you accelerate and brake on the right hand side. On the left hand side here you can see they've got the charge thing there. Now it's a 60 kilowatt battery, so the same as quite a lot of cars are going for the 60 kilowatt battery. A claimed range of around 450. With the European traffic, as you know, there's a lot more traffic, but it was very easy to drive and I didn't have an issue just cruising along in it, and I was getting very good economy yesterday. But you know, we'll do some tests and we'll see how we go. Now hopefully later on today we're going to go across the border to the Netherlands and do a trip there, if I'm still feeling okay, if this lurgy I've got doesn't get any worse. Now we've got a glove box over here on the right hand side, which of course will be opposite when it comes to Australia. Not a bad size. And in the middle here, you've got a little sort of storage compartment there as well. That's not too bad. Drinks holder. We've got a couple of USB-C charging ports there as well. The wireless charging, which I think is on this model as well. Now, it doesn't have an electric seat, and I will never understand why modern cars do not just have everything electric. So unfortunately you've got a manual seat. They do offer a higher spec model here in Europe, and that one does have an electric seat if you go up to the higher spec model. I'll just show you the key too. This is what the key looks like. So sort of like a fat small credit card, so a little bit weird. You've got the lock, unlock and boot release. No automatic boot on it. We'll have a look in the boot now. So to open the boot, just press that button in the middle and lift it up. Now, like many cars, no spare tyre, but you've got room here for the cable, the charging cable. That's the granny one. And that's pretty much it. The boot size, I believe, is 440 litres as well, so exactly the same as an Atto 3. So nothing special, but a fairly good sized boot. It's fairly deep, and I think you can easily fit 2 big suitcases in this one. Now I'm not sure if this car has a frunk. Let's go and have a look. There's a release there for the bonnet. I'll do it twice just in case. It's like the Atto. I've got a feeling it doesn't have one, but we might have to have a fiddle around and see where the latch is. Aha, here we go. Right, and there we have it. No frunk. And gee, space is at a premium under here, isn't it? You've got the motor right up there. Yeah, quite different to the Atto. The Atto's got a lot of space there in the front. There's your wiper washer reservoir where you can fill up. But anyway, the battery's there, the 12 volt battery, and here's the motor. So there you have it. No frunk, unfortunately. Never mind. First impression is I like it. It's very nice and comfortable to drive. Reasonable acceleration. And it's just in that sweet spot where so many people want a car roughly this size. I guess some people do want one slightly larger, but that sort of medium SUV segment, especially in Australia, very popular segment, and I think this will appeal to a lot of people. The styling, you know, it's not outrageous, but I think it's quite nice. I think it does the job, and I think it looks very smart. So my first impressions of it, driving it, I'll put a little bit of driving on the screen so you can see. very, very nice and comfortable. I think this car will do us well for our trip here. So I'm looking forward to getting onto the road, putting it through its paces, and I'll come back and do another episode where we'll do a road trip with it, and I'll go into more detail, things like economy and so on. So there you have it. That's the Renault Megane E-Tech Electric, which I've got for roughly 3 weeks, and we're all going to do a bit of driving on it, my wife as well, and my sister-in-law, and we're going to give it a good workout here in Europe. Going to go to the Netherlands today, maybe to Belgium as well, and lots in Germany, of course. Right, I'll sign off now. Thanks for joining me today, appreciate it, and yeah, stay tuned and we'll see some action in Europe as we drive this Renault Megane around. Okay then, take care and bye for now. Oh, and I'm just going to go and get some throat lollies now and see if I can get rid of this lurgy. Bye!